Garcia here, one of the sports and cartilage surgeons. Today's going to be testimonial. This is a perfect example. This is a patient came in, previously meniscus issue, didn't really work, seen by an outside provider, then comes in for another opinion. Turns out it's more than just the knee. You got to look beyond that. So it's the alignment. So the patient had a little bit of what we call varus. They were a little bowed. And as a result, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. So they lose the meniscus, and now they're overloading. And so no matter what you do to the meniscus, it won't fix it. And they start to have some arthritis on the inside. So one option is a knee replacement, but the other is kind of the forgotten surgery, which is an osteotomy. Now, the one caveat further here is most of the time, if they're like this, it's an osteotomy of the tibia, which you've seen some testimonials of us. In this patient, it was coming from the femur. So we did a medial distal femoral osteotomy, and you can see he did quite well. He's back to everything, and the nice thing is he's got no restrictions. He can go full impact on his knee, and hopefully it'll last another 10, 15 years or more. Enjoy.
It was Brian Ellingson. I came into Dr. Garcia with knee pain in my left knee that I've had for about 5 years. I had some meniscus repair done, but that did not fix the problem. So I came into Dr. Garcia. He told me he wanted to do a femoral osteotomy, basically break my femur and adjust it and clean up my meniscus and put me back on it. And like I said, this is the knee I had when I was 20. When he told me it was going to be a femoral osteotomy, I had to look it up. There's lots of good videos on YouTube that explain the process, and it's like lots of fears in my head and lots of fears from my family, but I am so glad.
Do you feel like you were informed about the surgery and what we were going to do?
Totally. I mean, the confidence level your team and you have in this process really helped make that decision, right? Because it was the right fix.
All right, tell me about the recovery.
So, you provide a recovery plan when I left surgery and immediately started PT, and everything on that recovery plan was right on. I could track the process through that, like the mobility, the flexibility, all that stuff started coming back in, 4 or 5 weeks. And it really tracked well. And, you told me I'd be skiing by February. And sure enough, I was skiing by February, so it was spot on. The recovery was actually a little pain, coming out of surgery. I probably 3 days of discomfort, and that's it. But it wasn't that bad. There wasn't pain. It was mainly just the initial swelling that had to go down, right? So, yeah. So, it's really this process. So now, what am I, 8 months into the recovery? All the questions that I had as far as what I can and can't do, I can do everything I've done even before. Like I said, this knee is what I had in my 20s, and it's awesome. I was skiing, downhill skiing, mountain biking. I'm running again, and it just feels awesome.
If your friend had a similar issue and had needed the same surgery, would you recommend it?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. I see folks that kind of look like they're suffering from what I had, and I want to say something to them, because I really, really appreciate what you guys did. I really do. Yeah.